Well, Glennville is home to the largest grower, packer, and shipper of sweet onions in the United States. And this week, the community is celebrating the famous crop with this annual festival.
Michaela Romero took a road trip out to Glennville ahead of the festivities and found a place where they are also growing something sweet and savory.
Driving through Tattnall County, you are bound to see plenty of farmland, including sweet onions. But did you know those sweet onions aren't the only sweet thing growing in the area? Right here in Glennville, these lush vines are turning into fine wine.
Wine is made by the calendar, okay? So you got to do what you got to do when the grapes get ripe, which is August, September. You do what you do there, and then you do what you do in the spring, and you do what you when the bud break, where we are now. All of that's got to follow the calendar.
We do all the work here ourselves, and from the minute the grapes are crushed and pressed, they are pumped into a tank, and we order special wine yeast to add wine and sugar to feed the yeast. So we ferment, that's our primary fermentation, and that takes about 3 weeks. We chill it down nicely to slow it down and maintain the nice flavors of our muscadine, and we make blueberry wines too.
Charles and Deborah Tillman are wine experts now, but that wasn't always the case.
So we tasted good muscadine wine somewhere, and I said, you know, we can grow muscadine grapes.
Charles' family has always owned this land, but it wasn't until 2012 that he and his wife decided to turn grapes into wine on this 50-acre land.
People told me, every person who would come by here, and everybody wanted to stop and see what we were doing. And I tell them I'm building a winery. They thought I was nuts. They said, you won't last 3 months out here.
And now they make 25,000 bottles each year. The two say it takes a lot of work and patience, but they say they have nothing to whine about because every day they are doing what they love.
People ask me all the time, all these questions, kind of like you are. And I used to have a little sign, it got misplaced, I don't know where it went, but it said, be careful of any question you ask, you might get a 45-minute answer. So you see how this can go. Well, this sure is a pretty little thing over here. Well, let me tell you that story. Everything's got a story here, from the chair you're sitting in to the wine you're drinking and the label on the bottle. So we have plenty of stories.
And with the stories they tell and the cups they fill, they hope everyone who stops by savors the time spent with them and stops and smells the roses.
So we just want people to relax, get away from the hustle and bustle, and come and just sit on the overlook, look at the vineyard, listen to the purple martins in our gourds, and have some good wine and fresh meal, and just enjoy each other.
In Glennville, Michaela Romero, WTOC.
Sounds fun. Yeah, living in Oregon for a while, it was fun to get to go to some of the vineyards out there. You got mountains to look at. Here, just sometimes it's just being outside and enjoying that and sipping something that you know was grown right there and that they put together because you do have a taste of the earth.
Yeah, and you'd think Oregon is cooler temperatures, maybe a little bit more fitting, but we're hearing more and more about wine grapes being grown in Georgia in the heat here. Maybe it makes them a little bit sweeter.
I know. Of course, the calendar, like he said, you play it by the calendar and win the weather, and that's something that they're always taking into consideration, as are we, as we start eyeing the weekend on a Monday, right, and looking ahead. We want to give you a live look outside from our downtown